wintry breeze blowing through the flooding trees, and I button up my coat to keep me warm. But the days are on the mend, and I'm on the road again, with my fiddle snuggled close beneath my arm. I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues. I have rosin in my pocket for my bow, and my fiddle strings are new, and I've learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble and must go. I'm as happy as a king when I catch a breath of spring, and the grass is turning green as winter ends, and the geese are on the wing, and the thrushes start to sing, and I'm headed down the road to see my friend. I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues. I have rosin in my pocket for my bow, and my fiddle strings are new, and I learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble and must go. I am in every town as I ramble up and down, making music at the markets and the fairs, through the donkeys and the trees and the farmers making meal, and the yellow-headed things are selling wares. I have a fine fellow's hat and a strong pair of brogues. I have rosin in my pocket for my bow, and my fiddle strings are new, and I learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble and must go. Here's a hand to one and all, to the big and to the small, to the rich and poor alike, and foe and friend. And when we return again, may our foes have turned to friends, and may peace and joy with you until then. I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues. I have rosin in my pocket for my bow, and my fiddle strings are new, and I've learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble and must go. I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues. I have rosin in my pocket for my bow, and my fiddle strings are new, and I've learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble and must go.
How are you? Good? It's nice to have you all here. Did anybody introduce the lads? Well, all the way from Scotland at very great expense. No, well, yes, actually, yes, from Glasgow. This is Archie Fisher, the finest folk singer, songmaker. Get out! Off, sir! Archie is a very fine songmaker and singer. I wish I could say something nice about... Well, this is our resident alcoholic, also from Scotland. All the way from Dundee, Mr. Alan Barty. Our spiritual director, Thomas Makem.
Thank you. Since the Pope couldn't stay, he asked me if I'd come out and see you again. Don't know if the Bishop would agree with it or not.
I'm the youngest and the handsomest and the richest of the group on stage, Liam Clancy. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You'll have noticed he's the most imaginative as well.
Keep out of this. Is there somebody up there in the balconies?
Nearer, my God, to thee.
Juliet, wherefore art thou? What was that?
What are you doing up there? I wish to God we were up doing what you're doing and you were down here doing what we're doing.
Further. I'm very insulted. We sang one song and the two people in the front row got up and left. Oh, there they are at the bar. Oh, I might have known.
I thought the bar was closed during the concert.
It should be.
Yes.
How it may whack, fall the dough, fall the diddly idle-ay.
How it may whack, fall the dough, fall the diddly idle-ay. As I rode down through Galway town to seek for recreation, on the 17th of August, my mind been elevated. There was multitudes assembled with them tickets at the station. My eyes began to dazzle and I going to see the races with me whack, fall the dough, fall the diddly idle-ay. It's there you'll see confectioners with sugar sticks and dainties, and lozenges and oranges and lemonade and raisins, and gingerbread and spices to accommodate the ladies, and a big crew bean for drubbins to be picking while you rave. Who with me whack, fall the dough, fall the diddly idle-ay.
Did any of you ever pick a crew bean? You know what you picked a crew bean. You know what they are. The pig's feet boiled up. Yes, they're the staple diet of the gamblers every August, is that they have the Galway races. For the full 10 days, that's all they eat. Pig's feet and big dirty black pints of Guinness's port. And you boil when you're cooking up the pig's feet, always boil them in salty water and leave a little bit of the hair on them, about a quarter of an inch. And just a touch of the dirt in between the two toes. For flavouring. Serve them up in last night's newspaper. Oh boy.
Irish aphrodisiac.
It's there you'll see the pipers and the fiddlers competing, the nimble-footed dancers and they tripping on the daisies. There was others crying cigars and lights and bills for all the races, with the colours of the jockeys and the price and horses' ages.
Who with me whack, fall the dough, fall the diddly idle-ay.
It's there you'll see the jockeys, and they mounted on so stately, the blue, the pink, the orange and green, the emblem of our nation. When the bell was rung for starting, all the horses seemed impatient. I thought they never stood on ground, their speed was so amazing. With me whack, fall the dough, fall the diddly idle-ay. There was 500,000 people there of all denominations, the Catholic, the Protestant, the Jew and Presbyterian. There was yet no animosity, no matter what persuasion, but fortune, hospitality, induce and fresh acquaintance. With me whack, fall the dough, fall the diddly idle-ay. And with me whack, fall the dough, fall the diddly idle-ay. It's a song that was written by Tommy. You'd never think it to look at them that he could write love songs, but there you are. I'd like to preface this with a poem that was written by probably the finest Irish poet in the English language, named William Butler Yeats, who wrote most of the love poems that he wrote were for a woman named Maud Gonne, who was a very extraordinarily beautiful woman in her youth, and a very interesting, incredible face when she grew to be a very great old age. She only died recently, as a matter of fact. She turned down Yeats every time he proposed to her. He proposed many times. She turned him down. I often think it's very fortunate that she did. I think if she'd married him, he'd never have written another bloody word. She ended up by marrying a soldier. She didn't like poets, she liked fighting men. Yeats wrote this poem to her somewhere in their middle years. He said, "When you are old and grey and full of sleep and nodding by the fire, take down this book and slowly read and dream of the soft look your eyes had once and of their shadows deep. How many loved your moments of glad grace, or loved your beauty with love false or true? But one man loved the pilgrim soul in you and loved the sorrows of your changing face. And bending down beside the glowing bars, murmur a little sadly how love fled and paced upon the mountains overhead and hid his face amid a crowd of stars.
Fair and lovely Annie, your gentle ways have won me. You'll bring peace and joy and laughter everywhere. Where you go, the sunshine follows. You're a breath of spring in winter, and my heart and soul are always in your care. Gentle Annie, gentle Annie, and my heart and soul are always in your care. When you touch me with your fingers, my cares and worries vanish, like the morning dew before the rising sun. When your eyes tell me you love me, when my soul is filled with wonder, and my love for you will live when life is done. Gentle Annie, gentle Annie, and my love for you will live when life is done. You're the flower among the flowers, you're the bird song in the morning, you're the laughter of the children at their play. You're my hope and joy and wisdom, you're my reason just for living. You're my treasure, you're my very night and day. If you can pick it up, sing it with us, come on. Gentle Annie, gentle Annie, you're my treasure, you're my very night and day. When the mountains all come tumbling and the earth has stopped its turning, when the winds don't blow and stars refuse to shine, when the moon has left the heavens and the seven seas are empty, I will still have gentle Annie on my mind. Gentle Annie, gentle Annie, I will still have gentle Annie on my mind. Gentle Annie, gentle Annie, I will still have gentle Annie on my mind.
There was Johnny McIldew and McGee and me and a couple or two or three went on a spree one day. We had a bob or two which we knew how to blew, and the beer and whiskey flew and we all felt gay. We visited McCann's, McLeman's, Humpty Dan's. We then went into Swan's, our stomachs for to pack. We ordered out a feed, which indeed we did need, and we finished it with speed, but we still felt slack. Johnny McIldew turned red, white and blue, and a plate of Irish stew he soon put out of sight. He shouted out in gore with a roar for some more that he never felt before, such a keen appetite. He ordered eggs and ham, bread and jam,
what to cram. But if we couldn't cram, though we tried our level best. For everything we brought, cold or hot, mad or not, it went down like a shot, but we still stood the test.
Sing along.
Swallowed tripe and lard by the yard, we got scarred. We thought it would go hard when the waiter brought the bill. We told him think of more, but he swore he could lower twice as much again and more before he had his fill. He nearly stopped the trough full of Ross's McRae in the bow of the tablecloth. If you don't tell them in, when the waiter brought the charge, like a loop was so large, he began to stir and barge, and his blood ran to burn. He began to curse and swear, there was hair and despair, on the finish we affair called shot and a liar. Shot when he blew out, and no doubt he did out quick, until he kicked about like an old football. Gathered all his gold, but was always like some holes. He would kick them with a few blows and no time at all. Quick and he began to howl and to growl with his soul. He threw an empty bowl on the shopkeeper's head. From a big thing, with the skin off a shin, and the rust did begin, and we all fought and bled. Peter did a ride on a light or a five. Russell made a drive for the dawn to march away. Paid for all the men that we ate so afraid. And went home to reminisce on the spree that day. Thank you. Was any of you singing on that? Didn't hear a bloody note coming off me at all. That was about a glutton, of course, as you know. He was fond of the food. I had a neighbour who was fond of the food, but he was a bit more fond of the liquid refreshments. Name is O'Brien. One of the decentest men that ever walked in woolly socks. Kelly says to him, my God, that wife of mine drives me to drink. And O'Brien says, mine makes me walk. He was, not only was he a great man for eating and drinking, he was a great man for sports and hunting and fishing and shooting and football and hurling. Any rascality was going, he was at it. One morning, that's not too long ago, a few years ago, about 8 o'clock in the morning, the parish priest came round to have him go duck hunting with him. I was just going to bed at the time. Never got to bed before 8 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, the parish priest, he was a great big fat parish priest with a big red face and the grease running off his chin from the bacon at the breakfast, and he came round and he had a big flask full of hot cocoa to keep him warm while he'd be out duck hunting. And O'Brien took a bottle of poteen with him to keep him warm while he'd be duck hunting. Do you know what poteen is, don't you? That's the answer to the fuel problem. Or it could take paint to your door or anything. Anyway.
Down south we call it white lightning.
Up north we call it holy water. There's only about 2 or 3 places you can get it. One is the local police station and the other's the local convent. Reverend Mother keeps a wee drop in case anybody would get sick. You'd be surprised at the number of big strapping fellas, especially musicians coming home at night, who would fall down faint in front of the convent of a Friday or Saturday night, and damn all wrong with them. Anyway, 8 o'clock in the morning, the two of them set out to go duck hunting, the priest with his flask full of hot cocoa and O'Brien with a wee bottle full of poteen. They were out all day and they didn't see a sparrow or a jackdaw or a crow or a willy wagtail or nothing all day. But they had been nibbling away at the hot cocoa and the poteen respectively. Or irrespectively, whatever the hell you want to think of it. Anyway, 5 o'clock in the evening and they're in the middle of a bog and one single solitary duck went up. And the priest rose up out of the bog hole and the water gurgling out of his wellies, and he fired at him. Because he missed it. And O'Brien lay where he was, and the bog water gurgling out of his ears, and he fired at her. And he hit it, and because as it came fluttering down, the priest says, fantastic shot, O'Brien, great sportsman, wonderful thing for you. Nothing at all, says O'Brien. With a big flock like that, I should have killed 12 or 14. Now, I was only telling you that romantic little ditty that you would sing a chorus in this song. Would you sing a chorus in this song if I taught it to you? Would you sing a chorus if I taught it to you over here? That's the style that Mary sat on. My God, I was going to say we'll all join hands and contact the living there for a minute or two. There's only one line to remember in this chorus. Poor old woman. Could you remember that? Could you remember that? Holy God Almighty, I have to ask them all the same question twice. As bad as the Irish woman that took the 2 pills, to be sure, to be sure. And they didn't do her damn bit of good. She was at the aspirin. Anyway, all right, so it did right. Poor old woman. Poor old woman, sing it, Leahy, you know. Poor. My God, that's fantastic. My side were fantastic. I don't know what your side were doing.
There's a lovely echo in here. It's like singing in the John. It's lovely. You'll have to sing all the choruses out now.
See the kind of a John he needs, an 800-seater. that's fantastic. There's a couple of other places where I'll be singing something at you, and I want you to repeat them back to me immediately, but I'll give you a musical cue. It'll go like this. Did you get it over there? It was like that.
Enough.
There's my girls in front.
Roy Rogers.
In an attic room in Portydown, a poor old woman spread the tale around. She lived all alone in her old top flat, with no other company but her old tomcat. And I hope so.
Hope so. I hope so. What happened to you the first time?
I hope so.
Did he give you
too.
the back?
Give him the back, me bloody eye nearly hopped out onto the road trying to give him the back.
You didn't give him the back.
I've been nodding at a blind horse.
Try it again.
I will not. They didn't get it the first time. If at first you don't succeed, we get it. With no other company but her old tomcat, and I hope so. I say so. With no other company but her old tomcat.
Now. Poor old woman.
One day she was sitting in her fireside chair, and who do you think should appear right there? I'm your fairy godmother, have no fear. Her and 3 witches, they have sent me here, and I hope so.
I hope so.
I say so.
I say so.
Tugger and 3 witches, they have sent me here.
Poor old woman.
The old woman, she looked down at her empty purse. I could always use some cash, of course. The fairy waved her wand around, and there on the table was £10,000, and I hope so.
I hope so.
I say so.
I say so.
And there on the table was £10,000.
Poor old woman.
A lovely face and a figure divine. For one night only I wish they were mine. The fairy says I'll have a go, and she made her look just like Bridget Bardot, and I hope so.
I hope so.
I say so.
I say so.
She made her look like Bridget Bardot. Let's hear it for Bridgie now, come on.
Poor old woman.
This lovely creature by the fireside sat. She started making eyes at her old tomcat. He's my only love, so here's my plan. Tonight make my cat into a handsome man, and I hope so.
I hope so.
I say so.
I say so.
Tonight make my cat into a handsome man.
Poor old woman.
This handsome man to the woman drew near, and he whispered softly in her ear, "The night is young, but you'll regret the day you sent me to the vet." And I say so, the day you sent me to the vet. Let's hear it for now, come on. Poor old woman.
There's a story we'd like to tell you at this point. It's kind of a story song. It's well known. It's a version of a legend that's well known up along the west coast of Ireland, particularly up into Scotland, along the Hebrides. A story that tells of the Seal people. In Scotland, they're very often called the silkies. And along, on this side of the Atlantic, up along the coast of Maine into Newfoundland and Nova Scotia, the story is told how the seals have the power to come up on the land and take on human form and live in the fishing villages with the people. Yes, part of the legend tells, though, that although the seal people always have to live close to the sea, they dare never touch the seawater or go back into the sea again. Because if they do, they become seals once more, and they can never hope to regain their human form. Such is the penalty. Our story concerns a man named Peter Kagan, who was married to one of the seal people. He fished a small boat called a dory off the coast of Maine. He used to fish mostly off the sunken ledges 20 miles off. But you know, his wife always knew what was happening to him when he was out at sea, no matter how far off he was. She knew one time when he went out too late in the fall of the year and got caught by the first storm of winter. She knew that he was in great danger. She also knew that she had a terrible decision to make, whether to stay on the land in order to keep her human form but let her husband die at sea, or go back to the sea and try to save him. Peter Kagan and the Wind.
Kagan was a lonely man in the summer of his years. Then one day he got tired of being lonely and he went away off to the eastward. When he came again, he had a wife with him. She was strange, you know, but she was kind and people liked her. She was good for Kagan. She kept him company, and winter come to summer and they were happy.
Kagan had a dory then, with a luxel on her mast. He'd go offshore for 3-4 days, setting for the fish. Oh, his wife was sad then. She didn't like to see him go. She'd go down to the sea sometimes, and she'd call to him. Kagan, 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 bring the dory home. Wind and sea do follow thee, and all the ledges calling thee.
He said he could hear her calling 20 miles to sea, and when he heard her he'd come home if he had fish or none. She was a seal, you know. Everyone knew that. Even Kagan, he knew that, but nobody ever said it to him. Then one day in that year's autumn, Kagan said, I've got to go now, go offshore and get some fish. But his wife said, no, don't go. She started crying, please don't go. The winds are coming and the snows are coming.
Kagan, 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 don't go out to sea. Stormy winds and snows do come, and oh, but I do fear for thee.
But it was early in the year and Kagan wasn't afraid of snow. So Kagan put up his sail and he went to sea. Kagan sailed in the middle ground. The wind was west all day and going down, and the fish were coming to him. Kagan read the writing on the water and in the sky. He saw the haze up very high above the clouds. He said, that's all right for autumn, only a change of wind. I'm not afraid of wind.
Ah, but Kagan read it wrong this time. The wind went away, and then it came back southeast, and the fog came round him.
Kagan said, I've got to go now. I'll find that gong buoy off the sunken ledges, and then I'll know the best way home. So Kagan made up a sail, and he bore away to the nor'ard for the gong.
Oh, the wind was watching. The wind backed around to the eastward and came breezing on against him.
They sailed for a long time. The sail was pulling very hard. Finally, the wind was so strong that the sail tore out, so Kagan took the sail down, and the dory went drifting. He thought he could hear that gong buoy. It wasn't very far away.
Kagan, 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 bring the dory home. Wind and sea do follow thee, and all the ledges calling thee.
But the dory went drifting, and by the gong buoy went away. Kagan said, all right then. He put in his oars and he started to row back up for the gong.
But oh, the wind was watching. The wind backed around to the northeast, making the sea confused. The wind said, listen, I have something to tell you.
Kagan rowing, I don't want to hear it.
The wind humps up then, making the seas short, making it hard for Kagan to row.
Finally, the seas are so steep that Kagan knows he isn't getting anywhere, so Kagan takes in his oars, and once again, the dory goes drifting. Kagan said, all right then, now I've got something to show you. He took a slip of wood for a needle, and he waxed up a hand line for a thread, and he sewed the sail up smaller, sewed a reef in it.
The wind said, what you doing?
Kagan said, you keep watching. So Kagan made up a sail, and once again he bore away to the nor'ard for the gong.
But oh, the wind was watching. The wind backs around north-northeast. Kagan can't hold his course now.
Kagan said, all right then. He brought the boat about. Now he's steering eastward.
You're heading out to sea.
I'm not afraid of water. I'll bring this boat about when I can fetch that gong buoy.
I'll veer on you. I'll go east again.
You do that, then I can hold my course.
I'll back on you.
You back too far and you've got it clear. You know that. I can keep ahead of you.
You may be smarter, but I'm stronger. The wind grew bigger then, and the wind blew harder.
Finally, the wind was so strong that the sail said, I can't make it, Kagan. And Kagan said, I know that. Thank you. So Kagan took the sail down, and the dory went drifting. Kagan took the sail off the yard, and he pulled it about him. Sail! Keep me warm.
The sail can't keep you warm. The wind snatched off north by east. I'll freeze you.
I'm not afraid of cold, but Kagan was afraid. He didn't know what to do.
Oh, the wind is working now. The wind is working now. The wind brings ice and snow. The wind blows long and black.
Kagan said, I'm dying. Sail, keep me warm. The sail said, I can't do it, Kagan. Kagan dying. And the wind blows.
Kagan, 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 turn ye now to me, turn your back unto the wind and all the weary windy sea. Kagan, 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 lay down to sleep, for I do come to comfort thee, all and thy dear body keep.
So Kagan lay down on the bottom of the boat, and he tried not to be afraid of the dying. And he dreamed of her then, his wife. He dreamed she was coming to him. And he heard a long hauling down the wind. And he raised himself up. And he saw her. Down the smoking, storming sea she came. Over the rail of the dory she came, laughing to his arms. And all in the night and in the storm they did lie. And the wind went away, and the storm went away. And in the morning they found him asleep. with a sail wrapped around him. And there was a seal lying there with him, curled over him like a blanket. And the snow was upon the seal's back.
Kagan, 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 bring the glory home. Wind and sea do follow thee, and all the ledges calling thee.
Thank you. Peter Kagan in the Wind.
In the merry month of June, from my home I started, left the girls at tomb, nearly broken hearted, saluted father dear, kissed me darling mother, drank a pint of beer, me grief and tears to smothered enough to reap the corn, reap where I was born, cut a stout like thorn to banish ghosts and goblins, a brand new pair of brogues, rattling o'er the bogs, frightening all the dogs on the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road, all the way to Dublin, whack for Lully-Ra. In Mullingar that night I rested limbs so weary, started by daylight, me spirits lied, and there he took the drop the pure, keep me heart from sinking, that's the paddy's cure. Whenever he's on for drinking to see the lassie smile, laughing all the while at the curious style to set your heart to bubble and ask if I was tired, wages I required till I was nearly tired of the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road, all the way to Dublin, whack for Lully-Ra. In Dublin next arrived, I thought it such a pity to be so soon deprived of view of that fine city. Well, then I took the stroll, all among the quality bundle it was stolen in a neat locality. Something crossed my mind when I looked behind, no bundle could I find upon me stick, a wobbling and firing for the rogue. Let me Connaught for rogue, wasn't much in vogue on the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, whack for Lully-Ra. From there I got away, me spirits never failing, landed on the quay just as the ship was sailing. The captain at me roared, said to no room had he, when I jumped aboard the cabin bound for Paddy. Down among the pinks, played some funny rigs, danced some hearty jigs, the water round me bubbling, when a Polly head wished myself was dead or better far instead. On the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road, all the way to Dublin, whack for Lully-Ra. The boys a labour fool, when we safely landed, called myself a fool. I could no longer stand it, blood began to boil, temper I was losing, poor old Erin's Isle. They began abusing her, my soul says I shall the island fly. Galway boys were nine, and so I was a hobbling way to Loughterray. Giant in the play, we quickly cleared the way for the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road, all the way to Dublin, whack for Lully-Ra. Whack for Lully-Ra, whack for Lully-Ra. Yep.
You should hear him when he's sober, he's quite good actually. Listen, we have Scotland's finest singer up here. I think we should get him up to sing a song. Archie, come on!
I'm going to sing a song, although I'm from Glasgow, I'm going to sing a song from Edinburgh. and it's about a bonny lassie called Mally Lee. She was one of the last of the great Scottish beauties. That was back in 1724. She used to parade up and down the Royal Mile, not in a professional capacity, I hasten to add.
Getting what nickel.
And the chorus says, "We're all gone east and west, we're all gone aye a glee." A glee means berserk. We're all gone east and west, Court and Mally Lee. Here's your tune. For we're all gone east and west, and we're all gone aye a glee, and we're all gone east and west, Court and Mally Lee. When the Mally Lee come down the street, her capuchin did flee. She kissed a look behind her to see her negligee. And we're all gone east and west, rockin' aye a glee, and we're all gone east and west, Court and Mally Lee. All down along the Cannon Gate, where Bozo will degree, and money's an ancient room to look at bonny Mally Lee. Aye, we're all gone east and west, rockin' aye a glee, we're all gone east and west, Court and Mally Lee. And when she reached the palace porch, there stood earls three, and each in thought his catermaul was a drab to Mally Lee. Aye, we're all gone east and west, rockin' aye a glee, we're all gone east and west, Court and Mally Lee. Though some had jewels in their hair, like morning stars that shine, young Mally did surpass them all, with butter glittering eye. And we're all gone east and west, we're all gone aye a glee, we're all gone east and west, Court and Mally Lee. And the prince come out, be among them all, we a garter at his knee, and he danced a stately minuet were born in Mally Lee. Aye, we're all gone east and west, we're all gone aye a glee, we're all gone east and west, Court and Mally Lee.
Proudly the note of the trumpet is sounding, loudly the war cries rise on the gale. Fleetly the steed by Loch Swilly is bounding to join the thick squadrons on Samer's green vale. On every mountaineer, strangers to flight or fear, rush to the standard of dauntless red hue. Connacht and Gallo lass, throng from each mountain pass, onward for air in O'Donnell above. Princely O'Neill to our aid is advancing, with Mally its chieftain and warrior clan. 1,000 proud steeds in his vanguard are prancing, with the borderers brave from the banks of the Ban. Many a heart shall quail under its coat of mail, deeply the merciless foeman shall rue. When on his ear shall ring, borne on the breezes of winter, Connacht's dread war cry, O'Donnell above. Wildly o'er Desmond the war wolf is howling, fearless the eagle sweeps over the plain. The fox in the streets of the city is prowling, and all who would scare them are banished or slain. On with O'Donnell and fight the old fight again. Sons of Tyrconnell are valiant and true. Make the proud Saxon feel ere in Rise up, engine steel, strike for your country, O'Donnell, move.
When night stirred at sea, and the fire brought a crowd in, they say that her beauty was like music in mouth, and few in the candlelight thought her too proud, for the house of the planter is known by the trees, and men who had seen her drank deep and were silent. The women were talking wherever she went, like a bell that is rung, or a wonder told shyly. And oh, she was the Sunday in every week.
This may tell no very Araday village or Shahis the evening and spare van nam coir dog paymanok broaching log time gan noning is the clo the brair stabiol tani bain the lamers fayin dull na coe is a Nosen kei Anjelha an spervan dam glor is I roche ma viol the werk fiel God dein Lei an hin the gno Daler kar I gori sikri Daling ler stardom store is bewein lam a poga om creed da verin uncraved in a doe is a raren in nosen
Wasn't that romantic? The women's fond of them shut-eye ones, aren't you? Love them quiet things now. I'm very fond of them shut-eye ones myself because I'm a great romantic. But O'Brien, there was a romantic for you. Remember the fellow went out hunting the duck? There was a romantic. 18 children he had. Couldn't get much more romantic than that. Well, he didn't have them, the wife had them, but he was always bragging about them. As a matter of fact, after she had the 8th one, she sat up every night sewing up his pyjamas because she's a firm believer in the old adage that a stitch in time saves 9. But it didn't work out. 18! Down to the doctor, he says, any more is going to kill you stone dead. No more, I forbid it. What are we going to do, says she? I would advise, says he, that you sleep upstairs in the bed and let O'Brien sleep downstairs in the kitchen. Well, she went home and she broke the sad news to O'Brien. The doctor says if I have any more, it's going to kill me stone dead. What are we going to do, says he? He has advised, says she, that I sleep upstairs in the bed and you sleep downstairs in the couch in the kitchen. C'est la vie, said O'Brien.
Say what?
Well, those weren't his exact words. He said things like, oh, drat. And he'd peck her on the cheek and she'd hop upstairs to the bed. This went well for about 3 weeks. But one Saturday night, he got loose. And he had 10 or 12 pints, or maybe 19 or 20 for all I know, and he came home like this. And he's halfway up the stairs and he meets her coming down. Where are you going, says he. I was coming down to die. Where are you going, says she. I was coming up to kill you. Now, I could go on about the O'Briens from this till Christmas, but the boys say, get on with the bloody singing, never mind the cracking and yakking. But I say that the cracking and yakking is as much a part of the business as this singing business. Anyway, I'm going to sing a wee song that I wrote about Mrs. O'Brien, who was a decent wee woman, not to talk of her trade. She was about 4'2" and 473 pounds. If you jogged around her 3 times, you'd be a bona fide traveller. She came from Ballabay in the county of Monaghan, and this is her story. Alan, please. But me ring-a-ding-a-dong, a ring-a-ding-a-daddy, oh, a ring-a-ding-a-dong. Oh, I called the daddy in the town of Ballabay. There was a lassie dwelling, and knew her very well, and her story's worth the telling. Her father kept her still, and he was a good distiller, but when she took to the drink, well, the devil wouldn't fill her with me ring-a-ding-a-dong, a ring-a-ding-a-daddy, oh, a ring-a-ding-a-dong. Oh, I called the daddy, oh. And she had a wooden leg that was hollow down the middle. She used to tie a string in it and play it like a fiddle. She fiddled in the hall, she fiddled in the alleyway. She didn't give a damn, for she had a fiddle anyway. Ring-a-ding-a-dong, a ring-a-ding-a-daddy-o, a ring-a-ding-a-dong, a daddy-o. And she said she couldn't dance unless she had her welly on, but when she had it on, she could dance as well as anyone. She wouldn't go to bed unless she had her shimmy on, but when she had it on, she would go to bed with anyone. A ring-a-ding-a-dong, a ring-a-ding-a-daddy-o, a ring-a-ding-a-dong, oh, whack from the daddy-o. She had lovers by the score, every Tom and Dick and Harry. She was good at night and day, but still she wouldn't marry. And then she fell in love with the fellow with the stammer. When he tried to run away, she hit him with the hammer. With me ring-a-ding-a-dong, a ring-a-ding-a-daddy-o, a ring-a-ding-a-dong, oh, whack. Daddy-o. She had children up the stairs, she had children in the byre, and another 10 or 12 sitting roaring by the fire. She fed them on potatoes and soup she made with nettles, and lots of hairy bacon that she boiled up in the kettle. With me ring-a-ding-a-dong, a ring-a-ding-a-daddy-o, a ring-a-ding-a-dong, a ring-a-daddy-o. So she led his at life, eating porridge and black pudding, and she terrorised the man until he died right sudden. And when the husband died, she was feeling awful sorry. She rolled him in a bag and she threw him in a quarry. With me ring-a-ding-a-dong, a ring-a-ding-a-daddy-o, a ring-a-ding-a-dong, a whack-a-daddy-o. Sing. Yeah!
There was a wild colonial boy listening to the butcher bird singing a mournful song. I'll stab a man up through the purse, Kelly Davis and Fitzroy.